my frames spiking?
Take it up. Slow, steady, undress. Impress. Take it up. Slow, steady, undress.
Welcome everybody to the first version or episode, I shall say, of the UCOC podcast, Deceptional Awesomeness. Well, as you can see, we have a pretty nice studio here with a lot of pretty nice shit, all kinds of weird props and quirky things that basically showcase our existence in this turning world. And with that, I light up some smoke. And with that, I'm gonna sit down, have a sip of coffee, and introduce the guests for today. And now, please welcome from the far right political side out of Oklahoma, please welcome Bracken Johnson. As he will sit down on my right or
Hello.
on your left. And then our third person in this episode today, he too comes from some conservative perspective, but he out of the Northeast. Welcome from New York. Please welcome. I am Mike.
What's up? What's up? I'm lagging. Shit. Alright, we're good now.
All right, and with that, I guess we all have settled down and we're in for some interesting conversations today, if they don't get boring. Now, the UCC podcast, the podcast where average people do uncommon things and discuss the great, the weird, and the mediocre of the equation. Now, I'm gonna start up this whole episode today with asking our guests who they are. So, one by one, please present you to the audience, and we're gonna start off to my right. Breck, you can showcase what is interesting about you. Tell us something.
Uh, I, uh, uh, I'm really old at heart, but I'm young legally. You know,
Legally young, and we see it with the gray hair. Yes, you are pretty young.
got the
I am
mention.
Mike. Are you young, or are you an old dirtbag?
I mean, I like to think I'm young, but I'm turning 21 in the summer.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy. Like, we all were just kids some years ago, and now we're all
it's like how many
with
years ago I
broken
joined
backs, and I don't know
baseball training?
what.
I was maybe like 16, 17. But it's crazy
So,
what time
yeah,
moves.
UCOC wise, what do you do in the UCOC, Mike? What's your job?
What'd you say?
What is your job within the UCOC? What do you do?
I run MJK Development, which is responsible for the construction of one of the biggest venues on the server called the Westminster Superdome. Really, really cool venue. Definitely recommend checking it out. And on top of that, I also run the Six Banners chain, which runs theme parks all over the server, as well as produces different ride models for different parks, including but not limited to Six Banners, Universal, ADS, and the new project that I just started, the Coney Island Ride Showcase.
Yeah, talking Universal, we have the right person on my left. Bracken Johnson, you have built Universal.
Yep.
Tell us something about it. How was that project? How much effort was put into all of that?
It took much longer. Like, it started off as just a ride, and then it just turned into a whole park. So it's gone beyond.
I will just say at this point, your accent, I love it. I love that deep Oklahoma accent. Really nice. Please tell us more. We want to hear it. The audience wants to hear it. The liberals won't like it. They're gonna cry with their blue hair. But we people, we want to hear it. Tell us
Yeah.
some things. Now, say shit. Say something now.
Yeah.
And I guess you don't want to talk. Okay. Now let me check my book here that I have written in order to be prepared in some degree. But that doesn't really matter because all of this is basically multitasking and I don't have really an idea what I am doing. Yes, topic of today's episode, Deceptional Awesomeness. So before the episode I have searched up what deceptional even means, and apparently that word does not exist. So yeah, we have just invented a word. So Mike, what do you think? What could deceptional mean?
I am drawing a huge blank right now. I just woke up.
You
It is
woke up.
currently 6:30 p.m. for me right now. My brain is not working properly.
Well, neither is mine.
Would you
Breck,
mind
how about
elaborating a little
you?
bit more?
Breck, good morning. Is your brain working?
Yes, it's been working.
It's been working. Is it working well?
I'd say so.
You would say so. Do we have any plans to register some people as sex offenders today?
Not current.
Not. No. Sad. Okay. Now we're gonna do a quick thing that I have told you to do ahead of this podcast. I would please ask the camera guy, who's Tess or the other person. Behind me and Breck, there's this wall that has two signs on it, based music, so basically good music, not shit music, so no rap, no crap. Hashtag Boss Hog Radio, best radio station in the server. And yeah, Mike, I told you to prepare a record of your favorite album of the week, so I ask you to come up, place it on the wall, and tell us something about it. What is the album and what's so good about it?
So the album that I chose was Thrones of Blood by Sullivan King. It's really, really nice mix of heavy metal and electronic dance music. I got the chance to see Sullivan King about 2 years ago now in December. Like, yeah, he's a dubstep DJ, but he also shreds a guitar live on stage, and it's probably one of the most insane experiences of all time. So then when I found out that this album was coming out, I had to give it a listen. It's actually ranked on my TikTok of all the songs on it. The Thrones of Blood song itself is pretty good, but it's not my favorite one on the album. That title goes to The Dead March, which, between Sullivan King and Ray Volpe, is probably one of the best tracks ever produced to this day. There's also another track on the album called Die By My Hand that has the vocals of the lead singer of Left to Summer. Left to Summer. Both those tracks go very, very, very hard. Definitely recommend listening to that.
Well, there you heard it. Thank you. So people, go check out Thrones of Blood by Sullivan King. Personally, not my type of music, but I certainly will try it out if I feel like it. And now, Breck, please put your album on it and tell us something about it.
Okay, so this is Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. This was released in 1975.
Timeless.
So
Absolutely timeless.
it's absolutely timeless. It's been almost 50 years since this album came out, and it's not really that loud. I usually don't listen to this kind of music. He's kind of one of the blue-haired supporters, but
Well, yes, he is part of that blue wing of monkeys, but I really like his music. So
Yes.
yeah, I have that record as well at home.
I do not.
And I'm really shocked that you have chosen Bruce Springsteen, because usually you're very not for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, very nice. Anything else to say about it?
It's not that complex of an album, but it tells a story, you know.
Yeah, like a lot of Bruce Springsteen albums.
Yep.
Okay. And now my pick, I have The Stranger by Billy Joel. This week I have been listening a lot to it. I don't have an idea why. That might be because I'm currently working to prepare for the 2023 UCOC Summer Olympics, which are held in Victoria, Burgundia, which is a city based on New York City. And as we all know, Billy Joel, very famous out of New York City. And yeah, I've been listening a lot to his music while preparing for the Olympics, which you can obviously see all the events and all the highlights live on this YouTube channel. So please make sure that you are subscribed and not miss anything. About the album, it's the fifth album by Billy Joel, and I really like the entire album. It starts off with songs like Vienna, The Stranger, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Only the Good Die Young. They're just great songs, and yeah, it's a good listen. And yeah, came out this September 29th, I think, 1977. And it was really the album that broke out Billy Joel's career. Yeah. Now moving forward, that was the based music of the week, something we're gonna do each week on from now. So you're gonna hear some music tips, what kind of music you can listen to while you wait for another podcast to upload. Okay, now we were just talking about the 2023 Olympics, and with Olympics come venues, and you two, Mike and Breck, you two are both very well known for building some of the best and biggest venues on the server. And Breck, you have announced, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago that you are opening up a new company. Do you mind telling us something about that?
So yeah, this company is named ASM Global. It's a real life company. They manage venues all over the world. So instead of it just being one venue operating itself, it's a whole company. So it'll be more efficient in the venue world.
Have you been working on a particular venue at the moment?
I am working on the American Airlines Center from Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. Very nice city that really fits your accent, which we still all love. So please talk more. We want to hear it. The audience wants to hear it. Mike, you too built venues. You have one city, I think Thunder Bay, yes. That really was supposed to be some small town, but you turned it. Yes, but let me speak out first. Thank you. Shut up.
Go ahead, sorry.
Thank you.
So,
So yeah, you have Thunder Bay. That was supposed to be a small town. Now it's basically Toronto, Canada, full of liberals. And yeah, you have built a ton of venues there. And tell us something about those.
So Thunder Bay has, I gotta count them, because I've got a lot of small venues. I got a medium-sized couple arenas and a whole massive stadium, which is right now the biggest completed on the server.
Are you
Starting
sure?
with one of the smallest ones.
Are you sure about that?
Did Jacob finish SoFi?
I highly doubt it's the biggest capacity stadium because I think Breck, what's it called? The NFL stadium in Longhorn? Cowboys.
The AT&T.
Yes, right. I think that's bigger in capacity. But yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
I've got the Superdome right now.
Go on.
That venue itself has the largest roof out of any stadium on the server. It beat out the Plummet Dome. And then on top of that, there's also the Capitol Dome and the Thunderdome, which are my two hockey arenas. The Capitol Dome is a college stadium, so nothing really like major happens there except for like college hockey and basketball. Not one of my favorite builds, but it's mainly inspired by the Tacoma Dome in Washington. Thunderdome was just one of those projects that's like, I need a waterfront arena in this city. So I built that and aptly named it Thunderdome after the, believe it or not, actually, after the Excision shows that happened at the real Tacoma Dome. I don't really have any real inspiration for these venues except for Superdome, which I based off of the Cowboys' new stadium, AT&T I think it is.
Yeah, so we
However-
basically have two AT&Ts on this server.
Yeah, pretty much. But in the future, I am looking at outdoing everything with a very, very large open air stadium for track and field events that could even host an Olympic opening ceremony that's supposed to be 4 tiers all around, have a retractable ground level. I might put a partial roof over it, but that kind of takes away from the whole point of it being the largest open air stadium. Because as soon as the stadium gets wider, roofs become even more nightmarish to build, if that's even a real word. But
I
it's-
mean, the title of the video is a word that does not exist, so yeah, it doesn't really matter since we're all sleepy people, just like Sleepy Joe next to me. And yeah. What do you want to
Fair
say,
enough.
Joe?
But
What
yeah.
do you want to say?
Uh,
Or you gonna fall down another step? There?
no comment.
No comment. No comment TV. Yes. Okay, Mike, you have something else to say, or can we move on?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay, I'm gonna stand up real quick. And no, this is not some uprising for the Communist Workers' Party, no. So I'm just gonna walk around the back here and come over here where you see this very nice YouTube play button that we definitely have not earned yet with not even 20 subscribers. In fact, we're only 1 subscriber away from hitting 20. So if you're watching this right now and have not subscribed yet, you know what you have to do? Or Joe Biden over there, he's gonna come home to you tonight and he's gonna do some very bad things to you. In fact, he's gonna bring his son with him, who's here, laptop from hell.
No.
I just read a news article about him today, and I'm not really sure if you want him to visit you in your bedroom this night. So yeah, what I
Thanks.
originally...
I choose life.
What?
No thanks, I choose life.
Are you sure? You don't want an abortion?
Oh,
Positive.
Positive. Oh no, the blue-haired idiots are gonna cry again because we said something about abortion, child murder, I don't know. Okay, so why I moved over here is because next to this play button, subscribe, is this weird statue of a mummy. And this mummy, this has a very special place in the heart of Brecon Johnson.
yeah.
And because this episode is called Deceptional Awesomeness, I thought about how about we're gonna do some mummy trivia with you, Breck. So I
Alright.
know you have watched the Mummy movie.
Yes.
If I'm right, there's how many? 3, 4?
There's 3.
3, okay. So my first question to you is, it's about the ride at Universal Studios Florida.
Yep.
How long is the track length of the Mummy?
Oh god.
Oh god, you don't know it, don't you?
I don't know that.
Well, what if I ask you how long is the ride time of the Mummy?
Oh, it's about 2.5 minutes long.
Yeah, that's about right. It really depends on how heavy the riders are.
Yes.
Considering it's Florida, there probably very heavy, so the train is gonna go around these turns a lot faster. Mike, what's your turn on fat people? What do you have to say about them? And I think somebody just got hurt. Oh, there he is.
I wasn't listening. I know nothing
You
about
weren't
the movie.
listening. Well, I just asked,
figure.
what is your take on fat people?
I mean, I don't really care as long as I'm not like. Who just joined? Dap joined.
Well,
That's her.
I don't really care as long as I'm not getting like sat on by one, to say the least.
All right.
But at the same time,
Okay.
it's very much respectable.
Now, back to you, Rick.
Yeah.
Now, this question is about the first Mummy movie. In which year was that movie released?
1999.
1999. Is that correct? You want to lock that in?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. And I wish I had a soundboard right now so I could play some sounds. But yeah, okay. Next question. In the third Mummy movie, who was the main actor?
Brendan Fraser.
Are you sure about that?
I'm very sure about it.
Did Brendan Fraser drink his coffee?
No,
Did he not?
there was no coffee.
Well, I just made that up because in the right there's something about a coffee in the queue, and I haven't really watched anything about the movies, so yeah,
Yeah, that's just the ride.
that's just the right. Now, let's get a bit more political here. And with that, I'm gonna go on the probably best news site of this entire planet, the news site that everybody uses out of Atlanta, Georgia, CNN.
Whoa.
Yay, nice, CNN. Definitely the best news network on the planet. Yes, we smell it. Okay, I have pulled up the CNN start page. First topic. Zelensky, who's the Ukrainian president, probably, gives strongest indication yet that Ukraine's counter-offensive is underway. Okay, you're talking about war here? Who's gonna win this war, Mike?
I mean, hopefully not Russia. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why, hopefully.
Hopefully not Russia,
Yeah, why not?
because they don't. For one, Russia's been like on this thing lately where they've just been wanting to expand again, and we saw how that went last time. It didn't end well for them. And then obviously it's going to lead to another Cold War, and then we're going to have another 24/7 threat of nuclear attacks, which we all totally already don't have. But who keeps texting me? I don't even know. I just don't want to have to deal with Russia any more than we already have to.
Well,
Someone
Joe
just needs to put
Biden, Joe Biden. You are in office. What is your
Yeah.
take on all of this? Want to send more money over there?
no. Let me give you my point of view on this. So, the more we go on, the more we just know that Russia's going to prevail at some point. You know, I feel like they're just being weak on purpose. You know, they're going to have to be strong later in the future. And I'd much rather just them win instead of us getting Ukraine billions of dollars around every corner. It's just not right.
my take on all of this is, I hope this drags on because the economy is suffering, the politicians are giving all excuses, the world is being fucked up, but still, we still have a group of people up here, G, the Chi, those
G.
people, the triangle with the eye, those people, they don't give a shit about all of this, and that is basically my take on all of this. Next topic. I have a flint and steel in my hand.
Yeah.
Mike, you're from New York, the Empire State,
Yeah.
the state where probably modern liberalism was invented, next to California. What do you think am I about to do?
Probably start some sort of fire.
Yes, and what has happened in
Okay.
New York lately about fire?
Fucking Canadian wildfire smoke.
Fucking Canadian wildfires, you're fucking right about this, so
Wow.
let's get some more smoke in this place. Fire spread
I
better
lost
be
fire week
not
at work.
online.
Oh,
Well, you live near Lake Erie, don't you?
Yeah.
And so Canada is basically
It
not
still
that
smells
far.
like a campfire.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
is it
but-
really that bad?
Oh yeah, it smelled like a straight campfire all week long.
I saw some pictures out of New York City today, which is like, I don't know what, 200, 300 miles more south than you are. And the sky is fucking orange, like that Pink Floyd sign behind you. Is it really that bad for you as well?
I mean, Western New York hasn't been as bad, at least not where I live. About an hour north of me, it was pretty bad, but we kind of got lucky in the southern tier.
Now, Breck, you live in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma too is very well known for some bushfires. Do you like fires? What do they do to you?
they give me marshmallows. They burn stuff for food. They can be a bad thing, but they can be a good thing. But so far, I haven't seen much of any air pollution in my area. So
So we're not in China yet over there?
nope.
Nope. Do you think it will be one day?
Probably.
Probably yes. Talking about marshmallows, what is your food that you like the most to put on your grill?
Burgers.
Burgers. Mike, you?
Same.
Burgers.
Same thing, burgers. All the way.
Cheap burgers, not even a good fat steak. That's crazy.
Well,
There's nothing better than some good piece of meat. Not just a cheap burger made out of probably human and pig and I don't know what.
oh,
Do you like pig meat, Mike? Pork?
Bacon.
Bacon? And stuff like, I don't know what, spare ribs?
Stuff like what now?
Spare ribs from the pig. Do you like that as well?
Gotcha. Sometimes. Sometimes.
Or
Depends on
are
the
you
day.
part of the Islam that despises eating a pig because it's
Nope.
dirty and filthy? Which makes no
Nope,
sense
I grew
to
up in a
me.
Christian household.
Have you ever traveled to a majority Islamic place?
Toronto, some parts of Toronto are like that, but it wasn't to the point where it was like overwhelming where you couldn't find a strip of bacon anywhere. Like you still had some like I shouldn't say normal, that sounds really bad.
Do the people
But,
there
like-
also walk around in bath clothing, as I call it? Like when I
you
went
get the occasional
to...
hijab every once in a while.
Yeah, but not women, I'm talking about men, because when I went to France, which is well known for being a terrorist cell, not saying that Muslims are terrorists, but ISIS and that stuff that is Muslim. And yeah, there you see the men wearing full body. They look like KKK members, but with long black beards and with big
For
long
the amount of times
knives.
that I've been to Toronto, I've never seen that more than once or twice in a day.
Breck, how about you? Do those people exist in Oklahoma?
Not at all.
Not at all. What kind of people do exist over there?
There's really not really that big of like a culture thing going on other than like Native American stuff.
So, white or red people, I say.
Well, it's mostly white.
Mostly white. But there is some red.
Yes.
Because Oklahoma, after all, is the state for where all the displaced Indians had to go to.
Yep.
And still ended up being dragged out, and now they're all in New Mexico, which is the favorite state of everyone. Is that true? Do we like New Mexico?
No.
Never been, nor do I want to go because there is nothing interesting out there.
Well, I am with you because New Mexico should basically be sold to Mexico.
Unless you feel like getting attacked by a swarm of tumbleweeds.
Do you like Mexico in general?
I would go to Mexico for like a week.
Do you want to get shot?
No.
No, why not? Or get put into a barrel of acid, or however you pronounce that,
Acid.
and be acid. Thank you.
See, if you want to go to like all these places, there's good parts and there's bad parts. Like you go to, let's even take my home city of Buffalo for example. There's nice parts of Buffalo and there's parts of Buffalo you don't go to when the sun goes down. Like if you're in those parts of Buffalo and those streetlights come on, you better get the hell out of there. Same thing with Mexico, same thing with Toronto, same thing with Chicago, same thing with India, same
Anywhere
thing
on
with China. Just
Anywhere on Earth.
There's nice parts of places, and there's places that as soon as the streetlights come on, you better either find something to defend yourself with or get the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
that's simple.
Okay, and now we're getting closer towards the end because we have been live for 30 minutes already. So we're gonna go into our last segment. And with that, I'm gonna stand back up again. As you see over my head, because this is the first episode of this all overall, I'm gonna have to, explain to you viewers what all of this stuff behind me even is, and we're gonna have the help of Breck and Mike over there to explain basically what all of those things mean. And I'm gonna start off over here. We have some sort of shelf here, and there's a head of a particular person in there, which Breck has some very nice experiences with, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, who is that?
It's real bud. It's
And what's so cool about him?
really nothing. He was
Really nothing.
one of the worst.
Well, for those who don't know, the UCOC, in retro perspective, we have evolved out of a particular Minecraft server that we will not mention because they are probably going to chase us down and call us bad things because apparently we're the bad boys. And yeah, we have some very nice experiences over there and have met some very interesting people, just like those two above me right now. This one with the rainbow flag in its hand. Mike, what do you think about the rainbow flag?
I mean,
Oh,
I'm not a straight man, I will say that right now, but
Oh.
I'm not opposed to it, but I don't think that we need an entire month to wave a rainbow around.
talking about months dedicated to certain groups of people, there's a Pride Month which is right now, which seems pretty useless. There is I think, Latino month, if I'm right. There's a Black month. There's basically a month for each and every possible thing that you can think of, except when you're white. Breck, what do you think about this? Is this some kind of liberal hypocrisy, or what is it?
Okay, so I'm probably gonna get so much shit for saying this, but
No, you're not. You're
I
pretty
feel
safe
like
here.
I feel like all of these diverse groups, all of these minorities, they're just like so fed up with being like, I don't know, just not being able to be on the same amount of success as people who aren't minorities. They just try to go and make their own months and all of their own months for recognition. I feel like they do this because they realize they're not as successful. They
There
try
you
they
heard
Here's
the
my
Oklahoma
thing on the
man.
whole
What?
success.
Say it, Mike.
You're living in
Your
the day
turn.
and age. Okay, so about the whole like success thing. We're living in a day of an age where the only thing stopping someone from being successful is themselves.
Exactly, yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
this right now. Like I
I
know
mean,
a lot of people I went to high school with. I graduated in a class of mainly white boys. None of them are really successful except for like one or two of them. Um, look at shit. Look at Shaquille O'Neal. He's successful. Do you know how he got there? By working hard for himself.
Yeah.
that's the same thing with the gender equality
I've
thing.
got it.
That what?
Yep.
You gotta go?
Only thing stop. Only thing stopping people is themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now a woman can work just work in the same place as any man can. There's really nothing that blocks them from doing that except themselves. So yeah, it really is not an issue. It's just that a lot of
I work
people
in a
have,
job.
yeah,
Can I just say something real quick? I
yeah,
work in
yeah.
a
Say,
job
say.
that's primarily. I'm primarily working a male-oriented industry, which is nightlife security. My summer job has like 4 or 5 women on the team, and they're just as good, if not better, than some of the men on our team.
Yeah.
Like, it's very possible to be better than a man at a man's job. Like, I'll come out and say it right now, anyone can do it. You just gotta put your mind to it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I work in the steel business, and I can tell you right away, I don't know a single woman that works in that business. Yet they all complain, oh no, we can't become CEOs and the doctors and I don't know what shit. And then they whine about not getting enough pay. I mean, hell, when have you seen a female bricklayer? You never see that because they have their entitled personalities, yet they want to earn a lot, they want to work less, and they don't want to get dirty at all.
Yeah, see, that's another thing too. Is some families are still raising their kids in the whole, oh, you're a woman, you got to do this, 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 and this. You got to play with Barbies. You got to dress in all this bright pink neons. And when you hit college, when you're going out to the bars, you have to wear these tiny little crop tops. I personally don't mind seeing those, but at the same time, it's like I just lost my train of thought. God damn it. One of my friends, she was risen. She went through foster care, 8 homes. I probably shouldn't be saying this on the internet, but like she does construction. She's done contracting before. She's a badass. All right. She's a fucking badass. Like she does some shit that I wouldn't even do. Like I personally would not get into construction, but
Why not? Why
it's
not?
just not my field that I want to work in, but I know how to do it, but I don't want to do it for the rest of my life, if you know what I'm saying. Like, she wants to get into corrections, which I greatly applaud her for that. But not often do you see women working corrections.
but they do exist. You read
They
a
do
lot of
exist.
news
You're right.
articles about women working in death row prisons and I don't know what, and I don't see an issue with that. I mean, it works as
Yeah,
long
I
as
don't see an issue with it either. I think it's
as long as the people of this planet work, do their duties, and do it properly, then there's no issue. Do whatever you want, but you gotta do
exactly.
something. Don't be these dirtbag people that sit around, do nothing, and get paid by our tax money. No, just no.
Mm-hmm.
Kingbrek, you have
I
been a
don't
bit
work 60 hours
silent.
a week to be
Yeah.
paying someone to sit on their ass all day.
Kingbrek, do you have
Yes.
anything to say before we end this? Everybody wants to hear your Oklahoman accent a last time before we shut off.
Um, peace out. Farewell tour.
By
What's it called?
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we are going to sleep. Once again, this has been the UCOC podcast, episode 001, Deceptional Awesomeness, the podcast where average people do uncommon things and discuss the great, the weird, and the mediocre of the equation. I'm your host, C. Blackout. With me have been Brecken Johnson and I am Mike. I thank you both two for coming onto the show, and we're gonna be back today. I mean today in exactly 1 week. So make sure that you subscribe to UCOC Official. Leave a like on this video, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Behind the camera was Taz26. We're shutting off. Good night.